Hi guys, welcome back to Aqua Supreme. Today's video we'll be covering what you can do, what steps you can take during a power outage. So I don't know if you guys know, but here in South Africa we have a thing called load shedding where our power goes out for about 2 hours. So we have a big problem with power outages, and of course that does affect our fish tanks, and it does put our fish tanks or our fish's lives at risk. So I put together some information that I got and what I've done myself that works, and I'm going to present that to you guys, and hopefully it can help you guys during the future. First of all, we are going to have to look at your aquarium heating. In South Africa here, it is currently winter, so the air is cold, and we are going to have to prevent our heat inside of our fish tanks to escape, or to prevent our aquarium temperature from dropping. So what I've done that works is I just use a blanket. Make sure to keep a blanket or a towel, or you get those thermostatic blankets, whatever you call them, and you place them around your tank just to keep that insulation and keep that heat from escaping your tank, to keep your temperature at a stable level. Then what you can do during hot periods of times, like during the summer or the spring, if your power might go out and the water temperature rises and aquarium cooler doesn't work anymore, you can take ice cubes and you can place them into a bag and float them on top of your tank. That way no chlorines and whatever escape from that bag into your tank, but your aquarium water still stays cool enough for your fish to enjoy their water and for your temperature to be at a stable level. Then we come to our air and the water quality of our tank. The first thing that I would recommend you guys doing is stop feeding your fish, or do not feed your fish during the time period of your power outage, because what happens is there is no filtration inside of your tank, so that is going to cause ammonia to spike faster and your nitrates and your nitrites to grow at a faster pace than what it usually would when you have had your aquarium filter on. The second thing I would say is to, if you have a canister or a hang on a back filter, to plug it out, because those filters are not inside of your tank. It allows the bacteria inside of those filters to die very faster or much quicker than it would in a sponge filter or an internal filter. And what happens when the power goes back on, your filter goes on obviously, and it releases all of that dead bacteria inside of your tank that could cause a ammonia spike. So what I would recommend is you guys plugging out that canister or that hang on a back filter, and first just giving it a bit of a clean inside of old tank water to prevent any ammonia spikes. The next thing I would recommend is not doing any water changes. So water changes, as you guys know, do affect your water temperature. You might be doing a water change with hot water, or you might be doing it with cold water. That can cause the water temperature to go up or down. So I would also not recommend you guys doing that until the power goes out, or if you know your power is going to go out, not to do it anytime in that day or a few hours before that time period. Just leave it for that. I'm sure your tanks will be fine for the next day, or you can do it the day before. But I would not recommend you doing any water changes during a power outage, or if you know a few hours before that power outage. The next thing I would say, and this is a bit of a costly process, is to get a battery powered air pump. Of course, you guys have to know that this is going to be an expense, and you are going to have batteries in place for that battery powered air pump. It will keep your filter running, so you don't have to worry about anything filtration wise, and it will cause surface agitation that will oxygenate your water, so that is a good thing. Then I would recommend you guys purchasing a UPS backup unit. This will continue powering up your fish tanks and keep your filters and your heaters and your lights on for a short period of time, or it depends on how big and how strong your UPS backup unit is. but it will keep it running for a short amount of time, and that is usually enough time for the power to go back on. The good thing about these things are they do kick in automatically as soon as the electrical or the power current is interrupted. It will go on and it will switch off again once the power goes back on. You do not have to worry about that. All you need to know is that you have to keep it plugged in to your power source that leads to the fish. Or what I recommend you guys investing in is a power inverter that uses your car battery to provide power and electricity to your electrical units in your house. Then my 9th tip that I'm giving you guys is a bit more costly, and that is to invest in a generator. You get different types of generators, your diesel and your petrol generators. I have realized through personal experience that the diesel generators are a bit more efficient than the petrol generators. What you also have to keep in mind when getting a generator is that it does make a lot of noise, so it will disturb you and it will disturb your neighbors, and you might get a noise complaint here and there, but yeah, that's about it. And then the 10th tip that I'm going to give you guys is something that I figured out recently and what I've implemented into my tanks, and that is when you have live plants in your tank, you can shine a light with a strong enough wattage onto those plants to keep photosynthesizing, and that way they provide oxygen to your aquarium water and keep your aquarium water oxygenated, which could be beneficial to you and to your fish. Alright guys, that's going to be it for the video. These are things that I implement, not all of them, but these are things that I implement into my own usage and what I do during power outage, because I do get one every single day for about a minimum of 2 hours, and my fish, I do have baby plecos and they are still doing great, they are still fine, and so I wouldn't give you guys these recommendations if they didn't work for me. So pick whichever one you like the best. There is a few categories such as your heating, your filtration and your oxygenation, but the important thing just to remember is that you guys want to be prepared when the power goes out. You don't want to hassle to get that, or finances might be a problem. So when you implement all these things, you are going to be prepared. You can just do whatever you do and your tanks will be fine and healthy. Okay, that's going to be it for me guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this informative video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.